Thanks, Lindsey. Well, it's Friday, and it's a good Friday for two reasons. One, of course, movies release, and second, it's a long weekend. So most of your friends and co-workers are probably going on trips this long weekend. But in case that didn't work out for you, don't worry, we've got you covered. Our film critic, Radheyan Simonpillai, has rounded up a list of family-friendly movies to keep you and the kids entertained. Hi, Rad. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Akshay. Great to see you here, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic to be on your morning with you. It's fantastic indeed. Okay, so the man with the hat, Harrison Ford, is back in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, but is it a fitting swan song? I'll get your take on that. First, we'll take a look at the trailer.
Sure.
Retiring.
Well, in that case, what are we drinking?
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war. A dial that could change the course of history.
Why are you chasing the thing that drove your father crazy?
The trailer looks good, but is the movie as good is the question. I mean, the man is, I think, 80 years of age, and what action?
80 years old. I know, look, first of all, my question is, does he want to be here? Because
Okay.
you know what I mean? It's like, he's 80 years old, he's having a great, moment in television on Shrinking, and, he's still as great an actor as he's always been, but the thing is, at this age, he doesn't have the same rapscallion vibe, and I feel like sometimes in this movie, he's going kind of through the motions, because, he's done Indiana Jones how many times before? They're kind of dragging him from the past and making him doing it again, and the thing about someone like Harrison Ford is, here's a great actor who's always delivering, but we only ever want to see him on the big screen when he busts out a blaster in Star Wars or puts on the fedora in Indiana Jones.
Right.
And the thing is, you said this movie looks good, and I agree. It looks great because, James Mangold, the director, he's the guy who made Logan, he's doing everything he can to try and recapture the magic of the old Indiana Jones movies, to the extent where you once again have the similar chases, like the chases through the caves and the caverns. Instead of snakes, you have eels. They're trying to go for that same dynamic, but it's hard to go for the same dynamic when, once again, Indiana Jones is 80. In fact, there's a scene there, you probably see there's moments where they de-age him using CGI.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that, right? Where they make
I could figure out the difference for sure. Yeah.
But so when they do that, it's uncanny, and it makes you realize this is the synthetic version of trying to capture the magic of old. You just don't have the heart that Spielberg brought to those movies.
So let me ask you this. You see, the question is, we know about Indiana Jones. Many wouldn't, the younger generation, right? So who is this film really for?
I mean, for me, it's for people who love Jurassic World and the last Star Wars movie, Rise of the Skywalkers and stuff, which is kind of like the CGI'd algorithmic versions of the derivatives of these movies of the past.
Okay, let's move ahead and talk about the other film. Now, this is a migrant experience we're talking about. So much tenderness. That's the name of the film. Tell us about it.
Yeah, So Much Tenderness is actually from a Colombian-Canadian filmmaker named Lina Rodriguez. She makes very small, very intimate dramas, very micro-budgeted movies. And this is about two Colombian women, a mother and a daughter, who are in Toronto. And, so the way Lina Rodriguez tells her story is very everyday rhythms. It's about how these women at work, it's about these women when they're hanging out with their friends, and what you're perceptive to is how they relate with others, how the feeling of being unsettled and the feeling of being alienated through the immigration experience kind of shows itself in the way they relate to other people. And so it's about these women who are starved for connection, feeling alienated, but it's about the strength it takes for them to really fight for finding human connections.
And who is this film for?
This is for people who like movies like Concrete Valley and Metronome. If you even heard of those movies, this movie's for you.
Okay, I have about 30 to 40 seconds left now.
Okay.
Now, we have to keep the kids busy this weekend if we don't have any plans to go out. So I believe a lot of films for kids as well.
Yeah,
What
I mean, look,
tracking?
there's two movies coming out this weekend, both about young girls turning into monsters. In theaters, you have Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, which is basically about a young girl right before prom realizes she's actually a Kraken. It's kind of like a derivative of Turning Red, and it actually is a lot more fun and witty than it has any right to be.
Okay.
So definitely recommend taking the family to that. And then if your kids can handle a little more violence, Nanoma on Netflix, an adaptation of a graphic novel that's set in a futuristic city, which is kind of like Blade Runner meets A Knight's Tale. It's a movie about another young girl who turns into a monster, and it's kind of fighting a police state. So this is a movie that bites off a lot more than it could chew, but and I think doesn't really hold up. But you have a lot of fun with the mess it makes of things.
Lots of choices. Well,
Yeah.
Rad, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you on the show. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.